Hello, everybody. Welcome to Doobies with Doug and Doug's Shadow. I'm here perusing the cliffside for any fossils. This is a known spot that there's an entire whale skeleton somewhere buried in this cliff up in here. So I always check real carefully for any bones. That almost looks like one right there, don't it? No, it's a piece of plant matter. But anyway, whoa. The footing here is against all OSHA regulations for sure. We're about to get us a nice sunset, if I hold the camera right. I shot those videos earlier down at the waterfront. And I'm sorry if they were hurried and I didn't really focus in on anything for any length of time. But a lot more people down there than I expected there to be. And at least 3 people were carrying firearms that needed to be cleaned. So it made me a little high-strung and nervous. As you can see, I procured the means to decompress. Nice big fat doobie of Gorilla Glue. Got my favorite purple hat on. It's kind of weird walking through downtown there because you got a mix of people. You got what I call boaties, which are people that are whether rich, retired, or both, who live on their boats in the marinas up and down the coast. Then you got the fishing crew, and they're all wearing Grundens, the rubber boots. Even if they haven't been out on a boat in 6 months, they're still wearing rubber boots and Grundens. Hoodies, certain hoodies, stuff like. I mean, you recognize who's who. There's a lot of Latinos down there, and then they work in the fishing industry, and then a lot of tourists. But yeah, I don't spend a lot of time down there because I live here. Can you blame me? I got offered a job yesterday in Eugene, lodging in a studio apartment, and $15 an hour for 40 hours a week, which is hard to pass up, but for fuck's sake, man, I do not want to live in Eugene. I wouldn't even want to live here in Newport in town. I like my little neighborhood right here. You know, on a day like today, you go on the other side of that head, there'd be 50, 75 people over there walking around, taking pictures. You know, it's a state park. Over here, casual folk get their leg broke fucking around on these rocks, and word gets out and they don't come over here. Or they get the shit soaked out of them by a sneaker wave. Right over in that area there where you see where it's really wet. Part of that is because there's a lot of water that flows out of there. And part of it is because waves will bounce a funny angle off of that rock and cause a ripple that'll run the waves way up the beach over there. And if you can see where them rocks are, when the sand is scrubbed off, if you're on the west side of those rocks and one of them sneaker waves comes in, you're pretty much screwed unless you're Spider-Man. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but to the left where the sun is dipping behind that cloud, you can see a little squall of rain falling out the bottom of them clouds. Here's some mighty fine reefer. You think? I do love marijuana each and every day. I had some cretin commenting on my YouTube videos about cannabis destroys brain cells and gives you schizophrenia and bipolar disease and all this fucking crazy bullshit. All that science has been disproven for 60 fucking years. Okay? To the point where Americans for Safe Access sued the DEA for using it. It went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And the United States Supreme Court even refused to rule upon it. All they would say was, of course this evidence is ridiculous, throw it out. These studies are all horseshit. It was the studies that Anslinger and all them people did. It's pseudoscience. It wasn't even close to real. Anslinger didn't do it. He paid to have it done. You know what I'm saying. I hope. Yeah, the right-wing people out here, they haven't figured it out yet, what's happening to their state. It's like they're losing control of it. All the liberals and progressives that are living here now. I could have told them that's 100% got to do with marijuana. Not just the more progressives moving here and living here, but the more progressives that are active in their Chamber of Commerce and they're active in their legislation and they're active because they have money and it's on the books and they're legal and they're changing shit. They passed House Bill 110 here. They decriminalized small amounts of all drugs. Oh shit. Ah. Oh. Well, they say you got a cough to get off. I should be higher than Keith Richards working on Ozzy Osbourne's stash. Holy shit, this weed makes me cough. Can you imagine getting high with Jerry Garcia, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, Ozzy Osbourne, Lemmy Kilminster? Imagine getting high with all them fuckers, man. You would die. I think I timed it so that I had enough memory to catch this sunset, but we'll see. It's looking fantastic so far. My hand is frozen and my arm hurts, but I guess we can change hands whenever we want. It's not like we're trying out for National Geographic photography contest. Besides, some of you gotta miss my beautiful mug by now. Ha! And the seagulls flying over. It's pretty psychedelic. They get a bad rap because they live at the dump, but it wears off around here because you see them being natural. One of the most Hakuna Matata heartless things I've seen since I moved here was baby vulture. I don't know how it got out of its nest, but it was on the beach. I mean, it couldn't have been more than a week old. But the seagulls were killing it when I came up on them. Oh boy, that's good pot. Yeah, I like that Gorilla Glue just fine. You can probably really see that rain coming out of that cloud now, can't you? Through the smoke. There's somebody and their two dogs coming up the beach. I hope they're polite dogs. Looks like an oil painting. Anyway, I'm not really back to work yet. Having an endurance problem. I'm only good for about 40 minutes. My oxygen levels in my blood start to drop. There's nothing wrong with my breathing per se. I mean, nothing that wasn't already wrong. But my blood's just not staying absorbed with oxygen the way it should. Yeah, if I ever get famous accidentally and these videos go viral, somebody's going to count the number of times I relit the joint. Somebody else is going to count how many times I coughed my brains out. But like I said, this is more of a personal journal than anything. Hopefully you played the disclaimer before you came to check my shit out, or you already know me, which means you know what to expect. Anybody that knows me knows I am not a mystery. There's 3 or 4 people on the beach. Yeah, in the mile that I can see, there's 3 or 4 people here. How we doing on time? Oh, we're good. See, the guy with his dogs. A couple of kids back there running around. They're probably connected somehow. Oh boy. You really see the colors reflecting off the sand. Not just the gold where the sun is, but like a lot of purple, like electric colors. You ever sit and watch the sunset and just think about all the people who you watch the sunset with? Or how many people you know that are watching the same sunset? Or is it just me? Some beautiful banding across the sun. That is awesome. Yesterday, I got to teach a guy in Pakistan about the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash, and how they work and why they work and all of that, through a volunteer translator. And that was cool as fuck. Yeah, that's what sunsets always remind me of, is unity. That's what comes. I just get really conscious of all of us being under the same sun every time I watch one. Yeah, now that I've decompressed, PSA to all people who are going to conceal carry. If you don't clean your gun, I know you have it. If you do clean your gun, I'm probably still going to know you have it. Because I'm going to smell the gun oil. When I smell burnt powder, I know you have it, and I know you're a dirty, rotten pig. And I don't mean cop, I mean you're just a dirty person. You don't take care of your gun properly. And you don't mind reeking like gunpowder. It's funny, people carrying guns on their hips or openly, just normal people, doesn't cause a stress response in me. And people that are hiding the fact that they're carrying a gun just automatically tells my body they're up to no good. It's an automatic response. Why are you hiding? What's so secret? There, Bucky. And there's only two things I can figure about it. One of them is cops that don't want anyone to know they're a cop or that they're carrying a gun. Detectives and undercovers. And the other one is people that have some kind of weird, sick fantasy that they're going to stumble into a crime and pull out their gun and save the day. The statistics say that's not going to happen. Common sense and statistics also say that wearing a gun on your hip will most of the time make most of the bad guys move the fuck along. So your logic is refuted. You're going to deter more crime by openly carrying a gun than you are by yanking one out of your armpit, yelling gotcha, and opening fire. You're way more likely to hurt civilians. No matter how much you train, you haven't been tested. That's why cops are killing people all the time. Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've been trained, they haven't been tested. So, yeah. It just reeks of cowardice and deceit to have a deadly weapon on your person and be hiding it. You're serious. If you want to be the good guy with the gun, wear it. Carry an AK on your fucking back if you want to be the good guy with a gun. Ain't nobody gonna hold up the liquor store while you're there. This weed's gonna kill me. I love it. I used to do this spring thing with my buddy Chaz, where we'd smoke about 3-4 hits off of a big fat spliff of mullion. And that shit would burn like hell and make you cry, and your fucking ears would drain wax, and your nose would run like a motherfucker, and you would cough up everything but your socks. And man, did you feel better the next day. Better than you had in months. I gotta switch hands again. This one's freezing.